But we'll start with the AG's reports, because in recent months, Merwin Sahar's reports have had a major impact on Alberta's political scene. Tell me about the latest batch of reports, you two. What was interesting in the latest bundle?
Definitely some interesting findings in there. I thought the stuff about the oil sands monitoring was really, really interesting. And I know Graham has a lot to say about this, but it was a pretty scathing report when it came to that agency. Alberta talks a lot about having a world-class monitoring system, and what the Auditor General found was that in fact, it wasn't the Joint Oil Sands Monitoring Program was not following through on its own commitments to file reports. He wasn't getting information in a timely way. There was inconsistencies, weak management, and I think this is going to be a really interesting one to follow up on, because Premier Jim Prentice has talked a lot about making Alberta, not only a natural resource exporter, but also an environmental leader. And I think what this report found was that we're not really living up to that standard.
The oil sands monitoring, of course, this goes back to 2012. When the government, and I've been covering these announcements for some time. 2012, we had the Minister of Environment, Peter Kent, came in and talked at a news conference with our, at the time, Minister of the Environment, Diana McQueen, and they were saying, look, this is it, a world-leading system of monitoring the oil sands, the environmental impact. Of course, it takes them four decades to get this in place, but they've announced it 2012, isn't this great? And when they had the first year went by, the report was supposed to come out last August. It came out in June of this year. It came out like 15 months after the year ended. The report from the last year still hasn't been released yet.
It's October.
It's October. It's supposed to be released in August of this year. And if they're true to their schedule from last year, it won't be released until next June. So they keep telling us they're going to bring in a world-leading monitoring system, and they're going to have reports and seeing how wonderful it's doing. The reports, as Marion pointed out, they're so late coming out. When they come out, they're full of inaccuracies. They're misleading. And these are all comments from Merwin Sayer.